Doing sports talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't, excuse me, hiccups. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, make this quick. Can't sit too long. Long story. A medical thing. But so I'm gonna make everything quick. I might be a little fidgety here and there. You know what I'm saying? We try to make this quick. And forget about the hiccups, my bad. Can't do nothing about it right now. We make this quick. Listen up. In boxing right now, it's too much keep away. We're gonna go straight at what it is. It's keep away. It's to keep the titles and or the acknowledgement from these black fighters. We talk about it all the time. I call it BTBG. Others call it other things. But the bottom line is getting blatant to the point to where I think there's got to be some kind of way to, to take people to court, to do some kind of investigation. I think even the PBC should really consider having their own belt right now, because it's getting to the point where basically we can't get no belts from any other black fighters that could become superstars. Now we understand Floyd Mayweather upset a lot of people over the years because he was beating everybody's butt. No matter who they were bringing up against him, he was beating their butt. For the people who say Floyd Mayweather fought easy people and he was doing the business of the business and all of that, excuse me guys, that's a lie. Everybody he fought was coming off of their best win. And anytime you watch anything about Floyd Mayweather, make sure just don't watch the fight, watch the lead up to the fight so you can know who that other guy was and what that other guy had achieved. Excuse me, man, so it is what it is. Long story, medical issue. Bottom line is this, listen, we're looking at Gennady Golovkin, middleweight, who was supposed to be the best middleweight for 25 years. Of late, we've heard Charlo sent him a contract, then Gennady Golovkin says he didn't, or someone else did, not Gennady Golovkin. But Charlo has been wanting to fight Golovkin for the longest. He was even mandated to fight him. That didn't go down because Golovkin didn't want it. Simple as that. The same thing with Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade has been wanting to fight him forever. Demetrius Andrade is even at the zone, right? Excuse me, where they both are, right? At the zone. And Gennady Golovkin still won't fight him. They're both middleweights. So that didn't even work out. Even Andrade offered to fight him right-handed. So those are two guys. They can't get the acknowledgement in the middleweight division. And it would be okay if Charlo and Andrade were the number 1 and number 2 in the middleweight division, and okay. But as long as Gennady Golovkin won't fight him, but he's being acknowledged as better than them, that is the issue. And now, who is he trying to fight? Anybody but them. Murata or Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia is the mandatory for Demetrius Andrade. And just like for Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia is the mandatory, and he's trying to fight Golovkin instead of Demetrius Andrade. Make sure that's a point, because no one else says that except me. You know, like they can't see it. Now, that was Charlo and Andrade for Gennady Golovkin. The same thing holds true for Canelo and Charlo. Charlo the mandatory, then they come up with the Charlo belt, which they call franchise belt. But y'all know we ain't doing that no more. That belt, every time it's mentioned, I want the name Charlo to be mentioned. So they know that we didn't forget. I don't give a damn if it's 5-10 years down the line. That belt was invented because Charlo was mandatory for Canelo. Therefore, it'll be the Charlo belt, because that's what Canelo asked for to get away from fighting Charlo. Canelo don't want to fight Andrade. We know that since the 154, 160, he had an undisputed fight to fight him at 160, and he didn't. He went up to fight Kovalev. Right? Those are two guys right there. Look at Fury and Deontay Wilder. Right? Fury and Deontay Wilder have 2 fights. First fight, a draw, right? They had a contract for the second fight. What did Fury do? Breach his contract, go fight 2 other guys, Otto Wallen and Tom Swartz. They're supposed to have the third fight, contracted. What does Fury do? Lie about when that the contract expired, trying to fight Agit Kabayal, doing everything to fight Anthony Joshua, which still ain't happening yet. But instead of just saying, I'm going to fight him the third time, like the contract stated. Everything else. Then he said he insulted him. So, and here's the point about all of this. There's no outrage. No matter what I'm talking about, there's no outrage. If anything, there's outrage against the people who want to fight. There's outrage against Deontay Wilder for wanting his third fight that's contracted. There's outrage for Charlo or Andrade for wanting to fight Gennady Golovkin and them. Nobody wants to see the fight except Charlo and Andrade fight each other. Right? So one of them could get canceled out. hell no to Andre and Charlo until they get one of those guys. I've been saying it for years. Another thing, what do you got? This Oscar Valdez. Guaranteeing you this Oscar Valdez, he just beat your boy, forget his name right now, beat him, and now he should be fighting Shakur Stevenson. It's not going to happen, and there will be a lot of people that don't want it to happen. Watch. It's going to be other names coming up, but it won't be Shakur Stevenson because Shakur Stevenson is awesome and everyone knows it. Like the rest of these guys, awesome fighters. No one wants to see a Floyd Mayweather happen again. So anybody that's got that kind of skill level, forget it. And speaking of Floyd Mayweather's skill level, we'll go to the next guy. Devin Haney, lightweight champion WBC style. Supposed to fight Lomachenko. He was Lomachenko's mandatory. What happened? Lomachenko said, hey, I want that Charlo belt that y'all gave to Canelo, so I don't have to fight this guy, Devin Haney. He's a little dangerous. So what they do, they gave it to him. He goes to fight Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez fights him, and then Teofimo Lopez beats Lomachenko. He's supposed to fight Devin Haney for undisputed because Devin Haney was elevated. Now Teofimo Lopez acting like that WBC belt is not real from Devin Haney. He's got Lomachenko got the Charlo belt. That's what not Devin Haney, but that's what Teofimo Lopez has, the Charlo belt. If you want the real WBC belt, you got to beat Devin Haney. What is he doing? Devin Haney, you ain't fought nobody and this and that. I'm a champion. You don't ask champions who they fought, neither do you ask mandatories who they fought. They're in that position, because if so, we were going to all ask Canelo and Yildirim who the hell he fought, right? So, what do we go to? Another thing, Haney, his mandatory, speaking of mandatories, doesn't want to fight him. His mandatory is Garcia. Ryan Garcia, all these Instagram followers and all of that. Ryan Garcia is telling the champion, I don't have to fight him, right? You need to do more. Telling the champion he needs to do more. He just came out his biggest fight against Luke Campbell, got knocked down, but won the fight. Now he's telling the champion hasn't done more. Where did they get the gall to do this, right? Jaime Munguia won't fight Andre. He's his mandatory. He's talking about Gennady Golovkin. Where did they get the gall to do this? You know why I told you. They have that conversation, that MBF conversation, no black fighter conversation, and they go. We don't have this problem in light heavyweight and cruiserweight because there's enough white boys up there handling their business. You know, ain't nobody in a rush to fight Beterbiev. Beterbiev wasn't nobody in a rush to fight Wojcik until Beterbiev did it. Ain't nobody in a rush to fight Bivol, even though I think he's the weakest link, right? And in that cruiserweight division, Usyk just left, but you still got some people down there in cruiserweight. You know, Bridas is still down there, right? Well, Gassiev moved up. Dorticus is still down there. There's some stuff down there. There's enough white boys where ain't nobody gonna be tripping right there. But in these divisions, where, you know, these glamour divisions down here, where these brothers could win, become undisputed, and become superstars, we're not letting them. And it's getting time to where we need to stop talking. First of all, I'll boycott most of the fights anyway, but I'm just saying more people should do that, and I think we should get all the lawyers together and find out what you can do, because this is not sport anymore. We can't have divisions and people can just go around. There ain't no black fighter in no major fight. Let's be real. We can't get Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao right now, can we? That's the one that should be happening. Pacquiao gonna fight Mike Garcia. I guarantee you ain't gonna fight Terrence Crawford, because can't nobody get up no $40 million in the middle of a pandemic. Why you gonna ask for $40 million to fight Terrence Crawford, who's been trying to fight him for 6 years? Crawford can't get the fight. You know what the fight they want to see is Crawford against Spence. That's the one that we all want to see, though. But my point is, I ain't trying to see that before it's for undisputed. I ain't trying to see Charlo versus Andre before it's for undisputed. I ain't trying to see your boy Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis before it's undisputed, and or before they get an opportunity to fight some of those other guys that are heralded as good as them or better. It's a simple thing, but we can't get it, and it's getting too obvious. When it came out that Bob Arum has NBF on his chalkboard, damn it, that was a big story, and everybody should have talked about that big story, and then we can really see what's going on, because it's transparent, and it's time to just do something about it, other than just boycott, because that's what I'd be doing, because it's ridiculous. Boxing, it's gone too far. It's gone as blatant as our politics have, and it's time to do something about it. Basically, it's keep away from the brothers. That's what this is, period. And you don't have to like it. It is what it is. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm about to here, y'all.